Am I feeling late? Hopeless night. Okay, shine the mother weed. Your best. Stand wait. Open way. Hopeless night. Open way, baby. Oh, the mother weed. Your best. Am I feeling late? Oh, hopeless night. Okay, shine the mother weed. Your best. Take that way. Open way. Hopeless night. Open way, baby. Oh, the mother weed. Your best.
Every day I wake, I make my mind up. I'ma be the one, be the truth, be the way. Yeah. Every day I wake, I make my mind up. Gotta keep my mind on the because they only telling their side of the story. Out here telling lies like they on Maury. Them poor rich kids get their money on phone it. But down here in the hood, yeah, we know Forex. We growing up, yeah. We got the goods. Good of them assets, good of my bag. Get rid of cash before the whole market crash. A news flash, just a flash from the past. We on the smash now. Be prepared to hit the gas, yeah.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, put your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Drive.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Woo. That's my child. Woo.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel. Hey, hey, hit him with the higher, yeah. Sharing no haka from Virginia, yeah.
I know I'm more because I'm blessed. I know I'm more. I pass the test.
We got to see with the true eyes. We need some brand new bright ideas. We got the hearts and some great minds, yeah. If we could all just be sincere.
Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, put your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Drive.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel.
Woo. That's my child. Woo.
Blood eye, yeah, we travel. Build a land, get the wealth, change your name up. Get the title in your hands, put your game up. Melanation, elevation, arise. We the vibe, blood eye, yeah, we travel. Hey, hey, hit him with the higher, yeah.
Peace to the party. It's your homeboy reporting live. And it's another week, a beautiful Sunday service amongst the people. Glad to be here. Appreciate y'all for pulling up too. Hey, so apologies last week. We had to take Sunday service off. We were still fellowshipping doing our thing, but we was out in South Florida handling some business. A lot to come on that front. You know what I'm saying? A lot of growth, a lot of prosperity. A lot of pushing the mission forward, right? We got to be active every day because, as we know, there's always a lot going on, man. So, hey, y'all in the chat, make sure y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. I had some technical difficulties. My headphones broke, bro. My classic studio headphones. Look at it, bro. Crazy. Down. You feel me? But it is what it is, man. I got my backup on. I think we good, but y'all let me know in the chat. Let me know what we sound like. Let me know if everything is everything. Before I get too deep into it, you know what I'm saying? So today, Matt hit me, he say, man, is America's 13% losing the Creole soul? He said that's where he wanted to take it today. So that already sat well with me right out the dump because it's something that needs to be talked about. The whole flair, the whole uh the unique history that we share here in America, boy, we done lost sight of everything that is attached to it. You feel me? And right now, today, bro, we all over the place. The way we look right now as a unit is pretty crazy, bro. Scattered all over the place. Politically, we look weak. Financially, we not sitting here building any strongholds. We steady on the independent, singular mindset. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no group economics being practiced on a wide scale with us right now. Everybody's coming to lap us. Meanwhile, the people that we are allowing to be the spokespeople for us is doing what they was placed in position to do. And I said it like that for a reason, because we gonna start it with that conversation, right? So a lot of people sent it to my inbox, and it was like, man, I know you had to see what the National Action Network, aka Al Sharpton them crew, right? Code name Nan, which is an accurate name because they ain't did now thing for the black community, but set up here and be an ambulance chaser. So I sat here and watched these folks pontificate about a whole bunch of nothing, bro. How is we? Buddy started this in the 90s, and I think 91, and they still talking about the exact same talking points here in 2026. Don't nobody see that to be a problem? Well, apparently, shout out to this brother. I think they say his name is Melrose Radio. Shout out to him out of New York because he had something to say. I want y'all to hear what he said. If you haven't already, then we're going to kind of break this down. So check it out.
Briefly, we have to get going in one moment. Step up, tell us your name, and briefly, what's on your mind?
Hey, this is a real New York camera. He said, hey, let me hold this, son. Let me hold this beat.
Hey, yo, as I look around this room, if you're 35 years old or younger, raise your hand. 4 people. So here's the thing. Y'all in trouble. Yesterday you had Al Green up here talking about we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, and then that's going to include what he said was reparations, which, by the way, wasn't reparations. Reparations is more than a check, but the very first thing it is a check. And come this year during the midterms and in 2028, if you don't have our check, you won't get no vote. No check, no vote. Yeah, I know that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what's happening. All of y'all in here, with all due respect, you're beautiful, but you're old. You're not talking to the youth. You don't know how to talk to the youth. You're trying to tell us what to do. We're not having it no more. So if you want our vote, you got to come with our paper. We're not scared of Trump. We're not scared of anybody. Biden is a racist. Trump is a racist. Kamala is a racist. And if you don't have our money, you don't get our vote. Yeah, not. Who are you? Oh, all right, yeah, so like I was saying, I'm going to land my plane right there, but the Democrats are no better than the Republicans. No check, no vote. Y'all take care. And somebody get my man a tissue. He need a tissue.
Hey, word is bond, son. Word is bond. Hey, say, look, man, he really cooked, buddy. Look at his weekend right here. He's steady with trying to pull the mic from him. Somebody in the crowd literally said, take the mic from him. So this man took his time to come out to y'all. Listen to what, because the recorded version was over 3 hours long. So he had to, I think this was at the end. So bruh sat there and you don't even want him to voice his opinion. He already showed how the age demographic that he was pointing out was barely even in the room. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, watch this.
Thank you. First, let me clarify something. There are many young people that are part of the National Action Network. I happen to be one of them. I may look old.
Weekend. Well, hey, listen, bro. Somebody gotta say it, bro. Shout out to bro. They say Melrose Radio out of New York. You can tell you're a real New York cat. Now, I don't agree with everything he said, even though I don't rock with Kamala politics. I don't think she's racist. I don't believe Trump is racist. Neither Biden is a documented racist. So, he has earned that title through document. We could point to, we broken it down many and numerous ways. But just because I don't agree with somebody, I ain't gonna let somebody lie. Here, Kamala was trying to be all around the black folks back in the day, and we was accepting her in open arms. So she got zero reason to be racist. So I can't do all that. But how they, as soon as that name, when he said Trump, they wasn't really tripping. But once he said Biden and then they precious Kamala, oh no, take the mic from him, is what they said. So, this is why the young folks don't be wanting to sit around with this, because the National Action Network, what have they done for Black Americans? They 35 years in the game. He said he put up $1 million cash for some new building that they finna to get. And what the building gonna do? New York City losing so many Black Americans, bro. What is we even talking about here? These folk be playing in our face. Now, whole time, let me show you a little quick comparison. So you got Al Sharpton them and his National Action Network, which is essentially an NGO, because he been tied in with all the big dog politicians, right? Tied in with the politicians, get all the press from the media. So he's getting paid for this. You remember how when it came out for Kamala, they were saying who they broke the checks to. They tried to go and hush that. So this man been getting paid from all the administrations who want Democratic support and to be the so-called voice of the people, but ain't did nothing with the people. Whole time, though, we broke down the Somalis too. They was doing the same exact thing, but guess what they did? They figured out a way to make their people eat too. So they took advantage of the system to take care of their people. Our so-called representatives take advantage of the people to pad their own pockets. So they know this whole governmental game got the ear of every big politician, but yet nothing ever trickled down. Y'all just steady. He had the usual suspects up there. Ben Crump. Ben Crump ain't nothing but an ambulance chaser, bro. This dude can barely speak. He's a terrible lawyer. They win it just off of optics. When they make something look a certain way because they in with them people, them boys. And we're going to talk more about that in a second. But I want you to hear what Al Sharpton, right? So Al Sharpton, he had to hear a couple comments from him that was pretty interesting. Let's take it over here let's take it to screen 3. You hear me? Watch this.
Jenny's father, Reverend William Jones, and he was the head of Breadbasket. He taught.
Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in for Sunday service. We just getting the news out of the way. Got to talk about some current events before we talk about, are we losing this Creole soul? We're going to show you how people like Al Sharpton help accomplish this, but check them out.
Me, first time I picketed, we were picketing A&P, which was the path mark of that time, and made them give us contracts, made them put people on the board. So I was raised in this. I was 12 years old. I became his youth director at 13, introduced me to Jesse Jackson. I became their protege. And went on. So Jenny grew up in this. When I keep hearing, and there's a lot of our young people that are from Youth Huddle, we bring in students. We went on the HBCU tour. Where's Cassius Rudolph? I just saw Cassius Rudolph that did our tour, and many of our young leaders. When I see them, Christian, and who's a young man, did our sermon on our inspirational word. When I see these young people, it reminds me that I grew up in this. We keep having people tell us they want young leadership. We have young leadership that are growing up in the movement. The reason why some of the young folks y'all are talking about, they've been parachuted in by others.
Okay, this is very important what he's saying right now. He says some other youth have been parachuted in by others. What others you talking about, Al?
To confuse a process. Hello. Jesse grew up under Dr. King from a student leader. Malcolm was trained by Elijah Muhammad, who trained so don't get it twisted. Everybody hollering loud ain't saying something. We need activists that are at large, but we need those that will continue these institutions and these organizations. And that's why I was able to go and help for the last few years with Reverend Jackson, because he was with me when we started NAME. I was under him from when I was 12. He named it the House of Justice. I am suspicious of anybody that I don't know their background, where you come from. All of a sudden, I see you out there in front of a march you didn't call, and we're going to make you the leader. Or you got 7 likes on Facebook, and all of a sudden, you the new thing. So let us be real clear. And the last part of this is people talking about, well, I wish so-and-so would step aside. Make room.
Listen to this.
Room for me. Nobody stepped aside for me. Nobody stepped aside for anybody. If you are what you should be, you don't have to have nobody step aside. People will push you up. Anybody tell you somebody got to step aside for them is not worth leading you, guiding you, or dealing with you. So I want to straighten some of that out before we get into our workshops. We're going to hear.
Hey, and I agree with Al. I agree with old Al. So guess what? We ain't trying to go up under none of y'all old niggas program because y'all ain't produced no results, homeboy. So guess what we gonna do? Do our own thing in our autonomous perspective. And like you say, we ain't waiting for no permission. And if you don't like it, do something about it. Because the stuff they talking about is ridiculous, bro. And everybody, well, don't even get me lying like that. Everybody can definitely not see through it. But there is a rising group among us who can see it for what it is. And we bucking on what they talking about. Bro, been around all this time. All he ever did was ambulance chase, racial issues. Nothing has ever been accomplished, bro. And they supposed to be something that's not, it's bipartisan, right? But they only rock with the Democrats, and they haven't come with anything else. And this time, the time in which he's had this 35 years, the decline of Black America has been sharper than ever, bro. Last name Sharpton, no pun intended, but it is what it is. So he is his base is in New York City. Man, the Black American population in New York City is so small, bro. They don't run that shit. Why? It's under your watch. You right there. And these is the folks that y'all letting lead y'all and, guide y'all and what needs to be done politically. And for those of y'all who on the history side who keep trying to act like politics don't matter, damn near every racial integrity law that was passed was political. I'm just saying. So we got to get way more holistic in this, bro, because we looking crazy out here right now. And speaking of looking crazy, we got to take it out to another fellow who love to make us look crazy. That damn Roland Martin. Now, I've had plenty of beef with Roland Martin. Cover him all the time because he is one of those people that is a shield, that is a Boule member, that is one of them people, whatever you want to call it, where their whole agenda is to keep us in a subservient mindset of always being a victim and always asking the person that they literally call the oppressor out of their mouths to ask them to fix and right their wrongs, which makes zero sense. So he come, it's crazy because my wife actually was the one that told me. She said, man, I don't know what your boy Roland Martin did, but boy, they is killing him on Threads and on X. So I'm like, what? They said he having a rough 24 hours. I go look it up and come to find out, some of y'all may have heard of this story. So a former lieutenant governor out of Virginia, he unalived his wife and then himself. Say they're going through a divorce, saying there's certain things going on. But the reason why Roland Martin got involved with this, well, apparently, buddy, Justin Frazier, he is a frat brother of Roland Martin, a two-time frat brother at that. So let me play the story first, and we're gonna break this down because we definitely for all of y'all historians, so y'all gonna love this tidbit that Roland Martin admitted to the people. Now watch this.
Now we're following breaking news. Police are investigating an apparent murder-suicide at the home of former Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, Justin Fairfax. Now, according to police, Fairfax shot his wife several times in the basement of their home. He then went to bedroom and shot and killed himself. CBS News Crime and Safety Unit Anna Schechter joins us now on the phone. So, Anna, this is a heavy story. What are we learning about the investigation?
Well, police have been aware that there were ongoing domestic issues in the house. In fact, I learned this morning that he, former lieutenant governor, had called police in January and alleged that he was assaulted by his wife. Police investigated and found those allegations to be untrue. They looked at security cameras in and around the home. So they were aware of this. She had filed for divorce over the summer of 2025. And this was a very messy divorce. That is according to the police chief, who just held a briefing right outside their home. Investigators were working overnight photographing the basement. He shot her multiple times there before running up to the primary bedroom upstairs. And as you mentioned in the intro, both of their teenage children were home. The boy is a little bit older than the girl. He called 911. At first, he believed his mother had been stabbed, and he didn't know where his father was, and he called 911, and they figured out the chain of events. Once they got there, found the bullet casings near her body, and then found him upstairs. Both were pronounced dead in the early hours just before 1 a.m.
And so you mentioned the domestic violence, the history of domestic violence, and any other details you can provide with regards to that? How long had that history lasted?
Well, it's interesting. He had been accused previously years ago, back in 2017, 18, 19 timeframe, and CBS News actually reported on sexual assault allegations against him, which he always denied. He was never charged or convicted of anything. But there were allegations out there about him years ago, going back a decade, and the domestic dispute issues police became aware of just in the last 6 months to a year. But they didn't have a long history looking at that, but they were aware of the allegations against him when he was lieutenant governor. So there's a lot to unpack here, and we are out to sources. Our Ed O'Keefe actually reported on those allegations several years ago. So the police chief, Davis, when he spoke this morning, he said this is a very messy situation. That's a quote, and there's a lot going on. And so this is going to be an ongoing probe. Local police are there. That's the Fairfax County Police Department. Now, of course, he is deceased. She is deceased. This is a family crisis. There are victims support team within that police department that are supporting the children now. Other family members are coming together to support those two teenage children. Of course, that's first and foremost. But police and investigators are also going to take a look at allegations against him from the past, given what has now happened, because I think there should be renewed scrutiny on those past allegations against him.
Right, and
Hey, so check this out. So here go Roland Martin right here. So Roland Martin, this way it get crazy. So you heard Buddy, he went out like a straight up sucker, took out himself, took out his wife in front of the kids, bro. All because he was a disgraced politician, because some claims came against him for sexual misconduct, right? No charges, but in the moment, it wasn't that, you know how it is. Like if you're a man and you are accused of something, no matter if it becomes true or not, the fact that you was accused, it does have a stain on your name. But that's why you fight it. You definitely don't go out the way that he did. That's just common sense, right? But Roland Martin takes it upon himself that he comes out and he gets some psychiatrists, he gets some black men to get on a panel and basically talk about mental health. Now, this is not to say mental health is important. Of course, mental health is important. That's to go without saying. But it's distasteful, the fact that y'all trying to paint this man in a certain light, knowing what he just did to his wife and then his kid. His kid's still alive, but they witnessed this. They was in the house when this happened, bro. So this ain't the time to try to do a woe is me for Buddy when he is a victim of his own circumstances. You feel me? But it was the wife and kids who shouldn't have to suffer. So how do you, as Roland Martin, sit up here and try to throw a pity party for bro to try to change the narrative on what he had going on? So he do that whole thing. He make the post. He tried to make it this whole thing to just. I ain't gonna say he was trying to justify, but he was definitely trying to shape the narrative to make his partner look better because he was a two-time frat brother of this gentleman. So here goes something. You know how we talk about the Boule, and people think that this is not a real thing. They think it's just another one of those conspiracy theories. So shout out to Roland Martin for admitting the fact that he took it down, not because of the alpha, because he's also an alpha, but the Boule hit him, Sigma Pi Phi, and say, take this down. And I made sure I screenshotted this. I hope it's still up on his page so y'all can go look. This is from Roland Martin, letting you know, because they're not supposed to share the member names and images of their society on social media. And y'all think that there's no agenda at hand to only be selected people to get these high positions in media or within government. But y'all think that our biggest people that we need to worry about is Donald Trump. These folks is telling us the whole time to be worried about these white men when they are the ones who pulling the strings behind the scenes, making plays happen to make sure we only get information from a certain vantage point to steer us in a certain direction. It's crazy because this item really hit home because what this dude just did in my hometown, you may hear it on your national news soon. Another black man came and unalived like 8 kids and 2 women, bro. And a good majority of those kids were his own. Okay, so we got something real serious happening right now within our so-called black communities all over America. Not because it's in our DNA, not because that's of our nature, but because we have succumbed to the programming that was put upon us. And not only have we succumbed to it, we project it and defend the shit, bro. And it's right in front of our face every day. But everybody want to get on here and tell us how everything is okay, especially if all we do is we just need somebody to give us some money and it's going to fix everything. But forget the work that we need to do to reignite ourselves to what our ancestors was on, that Creole soul we finna talk about today, the type of compassion, the type of action that we had within us, man, it ain't looking good right now. And these folks like Roland Martin, them, they playing the game in front of our face when they pick and choose what the narrative is going to be, especially amongst our people, because they want us to only think a certain way. You notice people like Roland get mad when you just spout your opinion about politics, but he knows narratives are so important that he had to get in front of this for his Boule member brother, even though this is detrimental. A black woman and kids are forever changed because of what this man did, but because he's so-called your frat brother on the Boule, you got to come and make him look better. This is how you know that they know what they be doing when they come out here and they attack certain people. I'll never forget the way Roland Martin talked to King Randall out of Albany, Georgia. And this young man dedicated his life to teaching young boys way more than what a Roland Martin doing doing with his the news. You feel me? But he'll have you think that his way is the best because this is the way they all act. You see Al Sharpton them, the young brother came, instead of trying to get that type of fire and that passion under their organization, he tried to make the man seem like he an operative. This how these folks is treating us right now, bro. And we going for it. So hey, look, it's time that we get to understanding this history. Over here, y'all know y'all tapped in with us. This is what we do. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. But hold on one second. Yeah, we're trying to get to the bottom of it. But the only way that it can be done, you can't be looking for no savior, bro. People thinking you looking for this individual person that's gonna come and just change the game for me. You got to be autonomous, bro. Go fact check your information. Go be the one to get your trust started with your family and leave some sort of a legacy. Hey, speaking of that, shout out to our partners, bro. So while we cooking, while we getting this going, we have partnered for those of you who haven't been around in a while. You know what I'm saying? We got a trusty friend that can help you with your estate planning process. You can get a free consultation. You go to QR code right here. You also see the information in the description. If you're here right now in the chat, appreciate you showing love. Hit the like button for us. Shout out to the party. Shout out to everybody here. We got to get active, man. So today we talking about that. Is America is the 13%, aka the black, the native, the indigenous, the coloreds, whatever you want to call it, FBA. Are we losing that original identity that made us great, our ancestors great, that made the whole world want to copy America, bro? Are we losing that sauce? Because right now, it's looking crazy. What did he say? God agreeing, say, I wonder if the Boule is going to punish him for exposure. You know they're going to punish that boy. They're going to punish him. I say give him 100 lashes, Boule. Give him 100. You know what I'm saying? No, that was a big mistake that he made. I don't know why he even mentioned the original post. Hell, I think the post he left up is worse than the original, because now you just highlighted the fact that they made you take it down. So that's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, drop flames on that boy. Roast this stupid ass. But hey, look, it's time to get to it, man. The Gullah Mask Choir done hit me. They said they ready. They said they made it. Mac ready to go deliver. He still hitting me with stuff. Damn, I got all kind of shit hit me. Yeah, I know it's about to go crazy. My phone going crazy. So look, Gullah Mask Choir hit me. We finna get active with them. When we come back, Max say he gonna be ready. So hey, y'all, we got something new for y'all. Y'all tap in. So hey, we gonna take it to the Gullah Mask Choir, and then we gonna get to it, y'all.
In a file, a barcode born to reconcile. But when I breathe, I feel the flame of every soul that wore my name.
They test my blood, but not my song. They name me right, but spell me wrong. Every drop still testifies. We survived what couldn't die.
We remember the hands that pray, yeah. We remember the price they paid. We remember the light, the climb, 'cause the blood remembers time. We remember who we are.
No code, no lamb, no star.
Measure who we are. From the field to the skyline, from the roots to the divine. We remember our name, 'cause the blood remembers time.
Testifying our glory. They say I'm part of this and that, but who recorded where I'm at? I'm every hymn my people sang before this nation knew our name.
We remember the songs they wrote. We remember the words they spoke.
We remember the old and young.
The fight still lives in every
Tonight, we are going to witness the most anticipated match in the history of professional wrestling for the heavyweight championship of the world. Are you ready? Wrestling fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, from the capital city of the United States of America, Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Son, where'd you find this?
They cut the story into pieces. Told us pick one. They gave me a color, said live inside this. Found my name down, made it fit in their system. Whole bloodline got trimmed to a sentence. Now I'm looking in the mirror like something been missing. Got rivers in me, they never mapped out. Got names in my bones, they never let out. Every time I felt different, I was dead right. They just buried the truth under headlines. Split me up, then they labeled it clarity. Now we fighting over fragments of identity. If I'm everything, why they narrow me? I'm putting all my pieces back deliberately. Don't dilute me, don't reduce me. I'm a blend they couldn't blueprint. Every layer got a voice. Let it speak. It's that Creole soul. Unfold, don't fold. Every root I hold, turn me hold. It's that Creole soul. Not one code, I've been told. Now I know. Yeah. Feel that? That ain't confusion. That's memory. Been walking around edited versions, whole identity stuck behind curtains. Took the depth and traded it for surface. Now we searching for worth and what they purchased. But I feel it when the rhythm hit different, like my body recognized what's been hidden. Certain sounds make my spirit sit up like you've been here before. I can't forget it. They simplified us just to manage the narrative, turned inheritance into comparison. But the truth don't break under pressure. It just wait for the right ones to carry it. Don't dilute me, don't reduce me. Yeah, I'm a blend that couldn't blueprint. Every layer got a voice. Let it speak. It's that Creole soul. Unfold, don't fold. Every root I hold, turn me hold. It's that Creole soul. Not one code, I've been told. Now I know. Choose a side, I don't gotta cut my ties. Every line inside me mine. Yeah. I'm the sum, not the fraction. I'm the truth past the caption. All my blood in alignment. Say it plain. We not one note, we harmony. Now I move like I carry an archive. Every step got a past that survived. I ain't searching for self in they boxes. I rebuilt it from what they tried to hide. So when I speak, it's layered intention. Not just pain, it's full dimension. We don't need their permission. We remember, that's the mission. Don't dilute me, don't reduce me. Don't dilute me. I'm a blend they couldn't blueprint. Every layer got a voice. Let it speak. It's that Creole soul. Unfold, don't fold. Every root I hold, turn me old, it's that Creole soul. Not one code, I've been told. Now I know. They told us pick one. We picked all of it. That's power.
Yeah, boy, they different.
Hey, that Creole song goes so hard, sir.
Hey, man, you see,
GMC, what they do?
Hold on, watch this real quick.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
They cut the story into pieces.
GMC, you heard me. Oh my goodness.
Told us pick one.
Am I here right now, my life? What's going on? Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, you see how they came in like this, boy. They ain't ready for nothing like this.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
They cut the story into pieces. Told us pick one.
Tenderism.
Let's go.
They gave me a color, said live inside this. Found my name down, made it fit in their system. Whole bloodline got trimmed to a sentence. Now I'm looking in the mirror like something been missing. Got rivers in me, they never mapped out. Got names in my bones, they never let out. Every time I felt different, I was dead right. They just buried the truth under headlines. Split me up, then they labeled it clarity. Now we fighting over fragments of identity. If I'm everything, why they narrow me? I'm putting all my pieces back deliberately. Don't dilute me, don't reduce me. I'm a blend they couldn't blueprint. Every layer got a voice.
Boy.
Hey, what? I'm telling you right now. But a Gullah Mask Choir. Yeah, we on, nigga. We on. I had to bring it back. Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Hey, I know I had something coming with these titles. You're talking about these titles. BFC gonna be like, Mac, that's what you about to do? Yeah, that's what I want to do. Let's do it like that. Okay, that part. You know what I'm talking about?
You see it? You see it?
Gullah Mask Choir, we in the building, GMC. You know, I said last week, Monty, when I said, you know, crazy enough, segue and everything, y'all know it's GMC. It's the Gullah Mask Choir. It's your boy Gullah Mac Aether. You heard me? Yeah. At the same time, the GMC got the same acronym for the Gullah, the Maroons, and obviously tonight we gotta give y'all that Creole. You heard me? And that soul come from that Creole. You heard me? That ethnogenesis of what makes us different from everybody else in the world is that Creole. See what I'm saying? And we gotta really like, Mac, what do you mean by that? Like, what you mean? It makes us different Creole. Well, we're gonna get to the foundation, origins, etymology of words, and we're gonna understand that if you were tied to the certain periods of time in this landmass, no matter what different backgrounds or ethnicities were involved, then you don't have no ties to that foundation of things. You heard me? So I want to keep it real. GMC hit it on the head, though. You heard me? They can't blueprint something that the ethnogenesis of what we did. You heard me? What we went through, our ancestors. And now what's in our DNA today is the fabric of Americans' foundation. You heard me? Funny enough, too, because last week we had Lee Cummings, and he was talking about.
And you got your YouTube playing in the background, bro?
Series. So the 13 colonies and all that's in place, right? But at the same time, we got to understand something. See, 13%. See what I'm saying? 13%. They say today in today's time, that's the population of people that's labeled Black American. You heard me? But if you got the 13%, then we got the 13th Amendment, then we got the 13 colonies. You know what I'm talking about? You do the math. I mean, it's 39. You hear me?
Hey,
but
you can hear me, bro?
time, put the math together. It's just an interesting thing how synchronized the 13 is tied to us in America. You hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, hold on. Hey, in the chat, let me know if y'all can hear me and Matt.
Something wrong with me. Am I muted too?
Nah, I can hear you. I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
I can't hear you. Yeah, I was having problems on my side. I thought it was just me, y'all. I thought it was just me. Can y'all in the chat? Shout out to everybody in the chat right now before we get going. Can y'all hear me clearly? He said he'll hear both of us.
Yeah,
but
you don't hear me.
Technical part of that on my end.
Go out, come back.
Quentin say, what's up, Quint? What up, Trail? God of Green. What up, everybody? Peace to everybody that's pulled up once again live and after the fact. Yeah, I see you pointing to the.
Look at your phone. You.
What you want me to do?
Yeah, get it.
Oh, you want me to call you?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on, y'all. Y'all know where I go. Hey, hold on. Watch this.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
They cut the story into pieces. Told us pick one. They gave me a color, said live inside this. Found my name down, made it fit in their system. Whole bloodline got trimmed to a sentence. Now I'm looking in the mirror like something been missing. Got rivers in me, they never mapped out. Got names in my bones, they never let out. Every time I felt different, I was there. Split me up, then they labeled it clarity. Now we fighting over fragments of identity. If I'm everything, why they narrow me? I'm putting all my pieces back deliberately. Don't dilute me, don't reduce me. I'm a blend they couldn't blueprint. Every layer got a voice. Let it speak. This that Creole soul, unfold, don't fold. Every root I hold, turn me whole. This that Creole soul, not one code I've been told. Now I know, yeah. Feel that?
Check. We're gonna try it again. Y'all know how we do. Matt, what's up? You can hear me? Damn, you can hear me? It don't look right. Yeah, yo. You just... We're gonna get it right, y'all. We're gonna get it right. You got to turn... Hey, listen to that Creole soul. Boy, I went crazy. Check. I don't know why he can't... Let me see something. It feel weird on my end, too. Hey, so we're going to wait till Matt get right, bro. So talk to me in the chat, bro. We got the boys saying we talking good. Peace to the party. Shout out to everybody. We're going to get to this Creole soul once we work through this. So the whole premise is, you know, right now when you in the conscious community, you basically being you being pitted into only fitting into one ideology. You know what I'm saying? So if you going through the indigenous ideology, you're supposed to only talk about indigenous. If you on the Moors, which would be really the Black Europeans, then you're supposed to only be on that. Same for the Hebrew Israelite or the Pan-African. When the whole what make this whole place unique is the melting pot of ancestry that was happening here upon the formation of America, bro. And it's really our strongest asset when it comes to the way that we acknowledge ourselves when it comes through history, when it comes through paperwork and our genealogy. You know what I'm saying? So it's a totality. Hold on, we're gonna try this again. Mac just popped back up.
Yo.
Yo, I can hear you. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
All right. I don't know, man. Just in case. I don't know. It's cutting me out, man. I don't know what it is. It's weird. That was hype, though, boy. Look, the Creole soul.
That's what it was.
Yeah, listen, yo. Ooh, let me tell you something, y'all. Hey, yeah, man, shout out to the party, though, Maranatha. Once again, I already done said certain things. I hope y'all heard it. You know what I mean? Monte, whatever.
Oh, yeah, they can hear you. Yeah, they can hear you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I heard you said, though, man, last weekend, we had one last weekend down South Florida. You heard me? Fort Lauderdale, Miami. There's a lot of things going on down here, y'all. We got some things cooking, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to tell y'all on where we at, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, yeah, we also, too, let y'all know the hospitality side is popping, you know what I'm saying? We autonomously, we doing it autonomously. We got with a chef, and, you know, we obviously got some bartenders, some DJs and stuff like that. Got like a Tuesday night social event type of vibe for y'all to come check us out locally, weekly at this point. You hear me? Come tap in with us right here at Private and Market, same place I'm live at right now. But on the other side, you know what I'm saying? On the other side. But yeah, we're getting busy on Tuesday nights. Come out from 6 p.m. to 12 o'clock and 6 to 9 o'clock to happy hour. You know what I mean? Tats and tacos, ladies. Hot 105. Be saying, you know, shout out to Scope. And you can get your thing going with that right there. Get a tattoo for $20 if the raffle hits you like that. So pull up early to get into that right there. If you're into tattoos, you hear me? Tat, you know, all that good shit. But however, yeah, man. So yeah, that was again GMC. And what I was saying was, before I got thrown off with the background technicals and stuff, the Gullah, the Maroon, and the Creole. You see what I'm saying? And the 13% part, it gets serious because obviously, we know they say, you know, census records from 2020 even, and I'm gonna play a clip, you know what I'm saying, where they talking about, I'll make sure I got somebody that was trained to speak on it in that kind of way for y'all to get where they coming from with this. But, and a reference point, culturally, man, as the Creole soul hit it so hard. Hey, play the first clip. Pull up the first clip for the folk real quick so they can get themselves situated here. You hear me?
All right, I got you right here.
It threw me off with the so I know I sent some of them, you know, I try to be in order, y'all, but you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, GMC had me hyped, yeah. Yeah, that's so tap in. Check out what they're saying about this 13 thing. They 13%, you know what I mean? 13, yeah, 13%.
Are you ready?
Tap in, yeah.
To learn that Black people in America.
You can hear it?
Yeah, I hear it.
Are only 13% of the population. Check it out.
I just found out only 13% of America's population is Black. I thought for sure it was like at least a third. The way the racists be talking is would have you believe that they make up like a fourth, and maybe even half. They be talking about the great replacement. White people still make up the majority, but like over 50%. The town that I grew up in, 51% Black. Now I live in Atlanta. I just thought Black people was everywhere.
Yeah, 13% of the population, but they making up like 80% of the culture.
So as you saw and heard there, and he got a little chuckle out of it. He was like, I didn't know. I thought there were more Black people in America.
You pause?
What'd you say?
You paused it?
Nah, it's still playing. Oh, I just paused it now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you see what he's saying, though?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as 80%.
You know, they've been saying that shit, whether you believe it or not, they've been saying that for quite some time. You know what I'm saying?
Right? 80% of the culture. People say, oh, y'all don't got no culture. What do you mean? We got all this soul. You hear me? All this culture influence, and we're supposed to be 13%, as they would say. You hear me?
Yep.
So, and obviously, that ethnogenesis of that soul is tied to colonial time frames prior to the United States even being formed in North America. That Creole, soul, ethnogenesis. So I wanted y'all to just hear that clip. We can go to the second one though. Let's get, because this is the lady that really gets into this is the second lady that they're gonna be talking. She's an analyst on dealing with the census, and for those that, you know, 2020, they're talking about population and all that. So I got to let the 13 part kick in so you get the title and how everything is working with the bill for the night. You know what I'm talking about? But at the same time, you know, whenever you're ready.
All right, I got you.
Welcome back to Black News Tonight. We reported earlier in the show the most recent census may have heavily undercounted Black Americans. We're talking about a rate 3 times higher than the census in 2010. To help us make sense of all of this and to discuss the potential negative impacts of underreporting, I'm now joined by Jerry Green. She's a 2020 Census Senior Advisor at the National Urban League. She has more than 20 years of experience as a senior advisor on civic engagement and the census more broadly. Welcome to the show, Jerry. Talk to me about this census. Why are Black people undercounted? This year is a record potentially, but we always get undercounted in the census. Why?
Well, first of all, there's no perfect census. Somebody's going to be undercounted. And so there's always a fear of the census. The census has traditionally undercounted Black men at every age group. Black children are undercounted. These are the things that our organizations have worked very hard throughout the decade to try to correct. And we were making headway. However, what's different about this time, of course, we know the global pandemic threw everything up in the air. The Census Bureau operations were all over the place. They did a poor job of communicating with the public on the changes and how long people had to fill out the census form. There were hurricanes in the South. And we know that a great part of our population, almost upwards to 60% of the Black population, are in the South, affected by the hurricanes, affected by the pandemic. But most of all, it was the interference, the political interference by the former Trump administration, sending out signals that immigrants shouldn't be counted. 1 in 10 Black people is an immigrant. And as you can see from how we were treated on the border, our Haitian brothers and sisters were treated, clearly there's a lot of fear. And when you have the leader of the nation saying you shouldn't be counted in the census, it had an impact, you know. And then the Supreme Court, acting on behalf of the Trump administration, shut down the census early during the critical part of the enumeration process when the enumerators were going door to door. And that's largely a Black and brown population that's there. And so the Supreme Court shut off the census early, and there you have it. You know, a huge, potentially a huge undercount.
So Black men in particular, Black children always are undercounted for all the reasons, I'm sure, access issues, them not looking for us, you know, I'm sure mass incarceration, poverty, being unhoused, all these things sort of play into it. But then you've just laid out a set of circumstances for why we're currently underrepresented at maybe a historically record rate, you know, from the White House to the courthouse, we're seeing into the state house, every angle we're getting hit. What a lot of people don't get, though, is why it matters, right? I mean, if we're underreported, why does it matter? Most people don't even get why the census is something we should take seriously. Most Americans don't. What does it mean? What are the consequences for Black people to not be counted fully?
Well, the census is about money, power, and representation. About $1.5 trillion is allocated each year to communities, states, local communities, and even households based on the census count. And it's important to understand that this money doesn't follow the need. It follows the census count. So for instance, programs for WIC and for Section 8, affordable housing, Medicare, all of these things, Pell Grants for our students, transportation funds. I mean, you know, take President Biden's yet to be approved infrastructure bill. How do you think those funds are going to be allocated once that legislation gets approved? It'll be allocated to cities and states based on the census dollar. So that's 1.5 trillion each year. Multiply that by 10. We have to live with those results for the next 10 years. Politically, the seats in Congress are allocated based on the census count. Okay, and imagine in the state of New York,
pause it right there. Pause it right there. Pause it right there.
2026.
Do you hear what she said about the count on census dealing with the politics?
Bro, everything she was saying resonated. That's why I wanted to keep hearing what she was, bro. what she just said is so important, bro. Yeah, she really cooking, and she even made me think about something that is so obvious that I overlook the whole time. So think about this, bro. We don't ever know, like we know they lied on the census as far as like what they put as your classification. But you know what we never approached the angle of? If they was lying about the numbers.
About the numbers. Like how you really know.
There's no way to know if they was telling the truth.
Here, how y'all be counting that? It's got to be something tied to the census, like, because everybody ain't getting counted. You weren't counting them in the colonial time frame correctly. They weren't counting them definitely when they did the first census in 1790. So they surely ain't doing it.
And they ain't doing it now. So check it out.
What's really going?
You remember what? And you remember one time, and shout out to the party. You remember one time we was on Clubhouse and we was having a conversation with somebody, and it was about like they thought the census, if you didn't take it, the police was gonna come to your house. We was having that conversation. So think about it, y'all. If you don't do the census, who coming to check behind you? Who coming to make sure that you fill out the census? I've never seen that before.
Never seen it. Think
about it. And that's now. So 1790.
Man, it's crazy. Like, you know what? If you getting assistance, right? You getting assistance in certain things, then they probably already got you in that kind of way because they got the statistic for how many people they got on the system that's being classified, right? But if you ain't getting no assistance or nothing like that, and you doing your, you know what I mean? How they really gonna know the number? So that's why like this 13% thing is interesting, right? You know what I mean? 13% is what they try to, and they say it never grows. So when they always tell us the 13%,
which is crazy.
The numbers don't grow. What do you mean? So we ain't nobody having babies. And now you saying we ain't having no babies. So how it's interesting. Let it cook a little bit more though.
This is count. They lost a full congressional seat because 84 people were not counted in the census. That's how important the census is. And now as you look at redistricting and the drawing of lines, it's about power, plain and simple, straight up.
So if I don't get an accurate count of my people in my community, in my neighborhood, in my city, in my state, etc., I might lose political representation. I'm going to lose money. My schools may close. My libraries may close. The potholes may not get filled as fast in terms of, I'm just speaking about infrastructure, bridges, etc. But the other piece of this is that, like you said, it lasts 10 years. So the mistakes that were made in 2020, now Black folk, Trump's out of office, Biden will be out of office within the next 3 or 7 years, and we still won't have those resources because of the census. Is there anything we can do, or do we just have to suffer for the next 9 years?
Well, there are, and I have to tell you, prison-based gerrymandering, just imagine, we're already behind the ball because they count prisoners, the Census Bureau counts prisoners, where they're located in the prisons. And where are these prisons? In white conservative rural districts. So that money that would have gone, and we're disproportionately represented in the prison and industrial complex, all of that money goes to white conservative rural districts. So we're double, we lose all the way around. I would say call your representative, call your members of the Black Caucus. They know.
They don't do that.
We're having conversations. Tell them you want to know that you need data. We need data to find out what's wrong in the
Tell them, Ms. Green.
Where are these undercounts taking place on a local level? We need to have granular.
Right. Hey, the stuff he said. So that's how your genealogy, your nationality can turn into a political issue. Because now in 1790, not being part of the census really ain't mean much except to help us as we try to do our people genealogy. But for them at the time, it really wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But in the next one would be 2030. Imagine if we leave and, we setting certain things up. If you don't go and participate in the census in your area, then they gonna basically write you out of the funding. And that's what we see.
Right. That's what's even crazy because, in the same case right now, we see a lot of people delineating. So how are you going to set up a new census for if someone was to say, we're going to go underneath this delineation now or that delineation now? And then you got to count all those who are in those communities that are going to take place in that politics of representation of what they want done for their communities. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That is that's telling right there. You hear me? What she was talking about, I'm like, I wanted to share that with y'all because the 13% thing and the census and the counting of it in modern day time and how it's tied to politics, I think she did a very great job. Miss Green. Shout out to Miss Green. You heard me?
Yeah, bro. Say Dane Calloway has a 13% group, and Kofi say the first time participating in the census was the last. then bro said the 13% is the Confederate representative as a whole. I think the 13% is the goal. I think it is like one of those symbolism things, but I also think it's the goal number. It's the goal. It's the number they really would like us to be at. It's 13%. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think it's just one of those things. But regardless of what you think the number to be, if there is basically what she was saying, they definitely lie about the numbers on the census. So that could be saying in a greater number or saying they in a lower number or both, depending on the race.
Right.
You feel me?
Right, that part. That whole part.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Hell yeah, it's very interesting because I think people ain't really looking at it from that standpoint. You know what I mean? Because most people don't even be informed to know, or even, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking about the 13%. I'm digging in the crates. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, it's easy to talk about, like I said earlier, the 13 colonies. And then we got to think about we got the 13 colonies time frame where most of us could easily, as they say foundationally, can show you have ancestry tied to these time periods in America. You know what I mean?
Easy work.
And at that
because
point,
of the census.
Right, because of things they talk about in the census, right? Going into the forming of United States and everything that you were already here in the colonial time frame, Creole soul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that right there, and I think a lot of people today, we hear people talk about funny on Clubhouse, you mentioned, I've heard people say, yo, I'm Creole. And it's like, okay, you Creole. You know what I mean? What type of Creole you is? You know what I mean? Because it's like Creole isn't like a racial thing. You know what I'm saying?
Nationality, yeah.
So
it ain't a look.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, well, all Creoles look the same, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't want nobody starting nothing like that. You know what I mean? Even though Creole Soul, the song is hard as hell for you to think that way, right? In a way of being Creole. But we are Creole. I'm going to explain it. Trust me, I got something for y'all with this. So what's the next joint, though? Because I seen this and I had to go with this real quick because, see, we were just talking about, you know, maps and stuff last week with Lee Cummings and people being brought from out of the land of Judah and being marked in the way that he broke it down last week, right? And how they were brought into Mississippi. And, well, you know, they would also be tied to being here, obviously, then during the colonial period, right? You know what I'm saying? So whenever you're ready, dog, I want y'all to check this out.
Oh, I think I got that up here. All right, hold on. I thought you had. Oh no, my bad. We're supposed to go to the video.
Yeah, it's the video first.
Okay, I got it. Yep.
Yeah, gotta give people context. You know, I can't just be. So I think
Here you go.
To give the kid context. All right, tap in.
Okay, I'm back for part 2, and part 2 is to show that Haiti is not the first black jurisdiction to completely liberate themselves post-colonization. Y'all in third place. So all this you got to say is not the first black republic. All this people in my comments, I knew y'all was going to go crazy, and now I'm about to make it worse for you. Because not only would I show you y'all don't know history, I'm going to show you the American Indians, the so-called indigenous black Americans here, don't know their own history. And this is the problem. Your studious level is on 0. And your ability to go through information is on 0. And the reason is because you're not organized. I'm not speaking for myself. I speak from people who write dissertations in a jurisdiction. So let me kill this shit. I'll start with this. San Basilio de Palenque. In Colombia, the first place post-colonization to liberate itself from these folk. Screenshot. Now I'm going to go to my folk. So, after the Mississippian culture was attacked viciously by these Europeans, both black and white Europeans, and there was a dismantling of the Mississippian culture.
Both black and white European.
Where did it spring back up again? The Creek Confederacy. So y'all talking about Emperor Dessalines. Who is this emperor? How do we know for a fact, one, that he was black? How do we know for a fact, Two, that there was a operative jurisdiction that raised itself up after colonization before Haiti. Matter of fact, a whole century before Haiti. How do we know that? Because it's written down. But let me tell you why you don't have education about the Southeastern tribes. See, when they put people up before you, Toussaint Louverture, Harriet Tubman, and they celebrate Martin Luther King, I don't care what y'all say. They celebrate these people because they are pawns. They hide all the people who had real work and put real work in. Here we go. Why don't you know about them? The acts and
Is that me?
of the English settlements in America than did those of the Indians of any other section. Unfortunately, they escaped the notice of the Northern historians, whose excellent books have formed the basis of American history taught in our schools. Consequently, those born within the territory once held by the Creeks know a great deal about the Iroquois Confederacy and nothing about the Creek Confederacy. They have read much about the conspiracy of Pontiac and have never heard about the Yamasee War. They are familiar with King Philip and have never heard of Emperor Brim. So who is Emperor Brim? And let me not disrespect our ancestors, Hoboyetle. How do I know what these names are? Because the fucking names are all throughout the journals of Congress in South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama. Now, how come you can't learn about the most powerful emperor? They call him an emperor. He signed his name Hoboyetle. How come you never learned about those treaties? The treaties of the people who came after him, Shakili. Yeah, we wrote. We knew how to take buffalo skin, turn it into parchment, and write on it. Where's the language? It's in London right now. They won't show you. Anyway, the white man call him Emperor of the Creeks, though his own people know no such title. It is fairly descriptive of his power and authority among them, for he is chief of the tall Coweta, the red war town, whose prowess before history begins, has won for it the hegemony of the Muskegees and the other tribes that by force or by negotiation have brought into their confederacy. We cannot tell with certainty just when he first appears upon the stage. When we are able to identify him definitively, he gives the impression of great age, old Brim, the English call him then. So old, he seems that we believe he must have been that great cacique who was in Coweta when the Spanish first pushed their canoes in. This is in the 1600s. So they talk about how old he was and how long he'd been around. Now, y'all remember I told y'all the Cherokees are not real. And it was Charles Renatus Hicks, the most acclaimed Cherokee historian with the largest library, not largest library for any indigenous people, the largest library in the late 1700s and early 1800s, who said that the Cherokee are basically not even real. They came after the mound builders. Why is it here in the book showing that the Cherokees are our #1 enemies? Was it not the Cherokees who sold out the Yamasee and the Creek Confederation when we was kicking the white people ass in South Carolina? Come on, screenshot it. There's his name. He's signing treaties. This is in the early 1700s. You can't even get these treaties. How you signing treaties if you're not a jurisdiction? And they're calling you an emperor over 11 kingdoms in the South. And what does it say? And now Brim adopts the spirit, though he knows not the words of the slogan, America for Americans. He forms a plan to exterminate the white men, a plan that seems by no means hopeless at the time, if he can combine all the Indians and massacre the English. So if you ever heard of the war with the Yamasees in South Carolina, this was not just in South Carolina, bro. This was a whole war in the South. Screenshot it. And it was orchestrated by a black man named Hoboyetle, or Emperor Brim. And not only that, it was a resurgence to bring back, after colonizing of the Mississippi Valley culture of our ancestors, to bring an empire back. Haiti was still enslaved over there. What are y'all talking about? So you see it right here. What are these people saying? For the Creeks are a numerous and warlike people, and their emperor as great a politician as any governor in America. And how are you going to pay tribute, literally, taxes to an emperor in the South, and we don't even know about it? Screenshot it. So for those of you who are slow, just know that your own Congress said the Creek were black. They passed legislation just a few years ago, and the only tribe they mentioned was the Yamasee, which they said were black, which we have photos, descriptions. We got all this stuff. And so what I'm saying to all of you people in Haitian who come with your pride, keep your pride. Just know you weren't the first. Y'all try to paint us as we were some docile people. 100 years before y'all freed y'all republic and got y'all stuff back, we was right here, and we raised the Mississippian Valley culture right back up, right here in Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina, Tennessee, and all these other southern areas. So I need for my people who are here on this land, if you don't know how to study, please come to us. We have an organized system of study. Anthropology, history, health, whatever you want to call it. Because you're not going to get ahead trying to go viral and being dumb as fuck. And then when these people who have been your enemies in the past try to come and say, hey, we don't care what y'all say. No, you need to care. Y'all people sided with the enemy against us on record. DuSable is given credit for starting a city that was here before Europeans and Haitians got here. So what I need black people to understand that, see, they get mad about FBA and all that. No, I don't get mad, because the disrespect is equal to the vitriol that some of us are spitting. But I'm going to keep it classy and keep it academic. The point is, Haiti was not the place to liberate itself. You number 3.
Hey, man.
And that was interesting, right? I mean, about the whole, liberation part, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and because Creole, right? See how Creole's connected to this, because Haiti does have a Creole culture, as we know. And at the end of the day, I don't got, shout out to my Zoes. I ain't got no issues with Zoes. Zoes don't be treating me that way, the ones I know. But I ain't acting like there ain't no Zoes that be on some, but that's in every situation, actually. I'm going to tell y'all, I don't give a damn. That's in everybody's, Jamaicans, Trinis, you know what I mean? That
no matter what
some
it
get
is.
along with us, some don't, goddamn. That's just, because the complexion of your skin, everybody's supposed to get along culturally, right? We all got different things going on. I guess got to look at it like, we shouldn't be that way, but that's what's going on, right? In certain cases.
Reality.
Yeah, that's the reality of the situation. That's the harsh reality. Live life autonomously. So do your thing. To leave me alone. I'm doing it my way. However, in Haiti, if they even the third nation in the Western Hemisphere to free themselves from colonial society, right, and do their own thing, I still got to give them a salute. Ain't no all about being first. It's all about being maintaining it. Now, there's some things that happen afterward. People might debate about, whatever the case might be. But however, you know what I mean. If anybody goes read the Constitution of when they broke away from the colonial society, they were looking at themselves as indigenous to the land. You know what I mean? That is not to say that everybody in the land was American Indians from Haiti. You know what I'm saying? I-80. You know what I'm saying? But they understood in their colonial time frame, Creole, and the ethnogenesis, that when they broke away from the French, that through the ethnogenesis process, that they're the indigenous population now breaking away from that colonial system. You know what I'm saying? So that's what people got to understand, right? So I want to share something, though, about what he said about Hobeleti, Emperor Brim. You know what I mean? You can pull that up. You know what I'm saying? I got something for that. I'll wait. When I seen that, I said, that's so interesting. I gotta tap in on the conversation about it. You know what I mean? I know he said people don't study, I guess, because they don't know about the man at all.
You're right about that. No, I agree with him on that.
A lot of people don't know who he is, and I understand that part. But I happen to do. Shout out to the Muskogee. You heard me? Should be the, you understand Estelusti. You know what I'm saying? Estelusti. So, however, the meaning of the word Muskogee has been in debate, and some people try to say it's got different ways of being ideally formed as far as what it means. But I come funny enough that the word musky, right? Musko, right? Musco is a variation. Shout out to the book, The Carolina Genesis. Shout out to the term mulatto. Shout out to the term, mule. You heard me? Shout out to the term musty. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about how you smell. You heard me? I'm talking your mixture, as that word is defined, right? Mixture. You heard me? Now, what the mixture may be, but we've looked it up and we showed you that before. I ain't gonna do that tonight to stay on point. But we know we showed you the dictionary and go into the 1600s, as he just mentioned, that the word mulatto is definitely tied to what they call a Blackamoor and Indian mixture. Did anybody recall that? We've showed that before. That should be stamped in your head. First mixture. That was Jack Forrest, by the way. You know what I mean? In his mulatto chapter 7, by the way, that did a great breakdown of all the dictionaries during colonial time frame, Creole, to show this understanding of what's going on. So now here we go. There is no Muskogee migration legend. See, so the word Muskogee did not exist until the late 1740s. He came now. It says it was coined by the ruling elite of the Creek Confederacy, who themselves, look what it's saying, had Sephardic Jewish family name. That surname, that surname, you know what I mean, dealing with the word Brown, you know what I mean, that you said the colonial people called him, right? Because he didn't call himself that, but he was given that because of that surname. He did have a surname because he was mixed. They were mixed already going into this time frame. See, understand what's going on here, right? So the author of this situation, Richard L. Thornton, you know what I mean? But you can scroll down. You can scroll down. I want to get to
Hey.
Wow.
Oh no, go ahead. Go. No, we gotta talk about this, but I want you to finish off because
So matter of fact, can you make that bigger right there where it shows the dictionary of the Creek word so everybody can see that?
It ain't gonna let me. It's a will. Hold on. About to reframe it. How that look? That look pretty big.
It's pretty good, but it's not going to be visible probably for everybody to see. Hopefully they get it.
Oh no.
All the variations though of the word Muskogee is there. You see in there. Muskogee, Muskogo, all that's in there. Oh, that's here you go. Feel me? A Muskogee, you know what I'm saying, pertaining to Muskogee. See that Esther? See the word Esther in there? Esther and then Muskogee. That's the Muskogee people. Esther, because Esther means what? People, nation. You heard me? All right. That's what word loosely means in Muskogee language. Dark skinned black nations of people. Yeah, that part. That within the region that he's talking about in this time frame, all this going on. You heard me? Funny enough, in American history, colonial time frame, Creole. In his speech before the leaders of Savannah, Georgia, on June 6, 1735, and he mentioned this person's name. See, Shaquille, all right, High King of what the British called the Creek Confederacy. See, the 13 colonies. The British, they're calling the Creek, but Muskogee predates this right here. See what I'm talking about? The language, etc., the mixture of everything. They ain't telling you all that though. So either way, see, where did the origin of these people come out of? Like the Mississippian culture, right? He mentioned the mound builders. So in the situation that it's stated that they called themselves either Appalachie or Kawati or Cashetta, like the town's names, Cassetta, which is just a variation of Cashetta. However, he said either was correct. In other words, he was telling them not to label his people Creek. Nowhere in the speech did Shalikli mention a word similar to Muskogee. It's time frame. Everything's time frame and reference. You know what I'm saying? So the Appalachie in Florida never called themselves the name until the Spanish told them that was their name. The Spanish got the word from a trading colony that the Appalachie established on the Great White Path in the Florida Panhandle, named the Appalachian, which was a plural for the Appalachie. The Kawati is an Itza. You see what it says? It said Itza.
It's a Maya. Yeah.
It's a Maya proper noun, which means principal eagle people. The Apacholo, you heard me, is the Anglicization, 13 colonies of the proper noun. You know what I'm saying? So the Apachakora, Shakora, Shakora, Apra Shakora, right, which means Appalachian people, is the Appalachian language itself, a Pannonian word from Peru, which means descendants from the sea, or alternatively, the upper Amazon basin, which was pronounced Para. Now, this is some interesting things you're seeing about the Etymology is tied to people that came out of where? The Mayan Empire, by the way. Right. Okay. There you see that word Cassetta? I told y'all it was coming. Cassetta, that's where my mama side of them from. Cassetta, Georgia. Yeah, that part. The high point of the speech was a translation of a painted bison calf skin. Remember, he was mentioning about how they take buffalo skin? Remember, look, right here. All right. Which the Appalachian writing system described the migration legend of the Cassetta in English, who composed one branch of the Upper Creeks. It was the history of Tequista. Where we at, Monte? I'm down here where? I'm down here in Tequista territory right now. South Florida, St. Seminole territory. The mounds down here where I'm at, going all the way up into parts of northern Florida, are tied to Tequista, which is tied to who they say? Toltec tribe that originally lived on the slopes of the Orizaba volcano in southwestern Veracruz. After many tribulations, they migrated along the edge of the Gulf of Mexico, then followed the Alabama-Coosa River system to the province of Coosa, where they lived for many generations until a drought struck. It's very interesting how all this about people. You heard me? So Mary Musgrove, shout out for Back for Us Mine, because he always talked about this when we had these conversations. And you see, I always mess up her. I'm gonna butcher that right there. I ain't that good with that part of Muskogee to be saying. I'm gonna mess it up. I pour her name.
Yeah, don't give me that.
All right, Mary Musgrove. You heard me? Translated his speech into English. You know what I mean? It says Georgia Colonial Secretary Thomas Christie transcribes Mary's words with an early form of shorthand. And we're gonna slide down though, because this is all the stuff that's happening. Go look up about all these people. He mentioned London. See how I said that in London, right? So here it is, right here. Bound for London on July 7th, 1735. Where to go to? H.R. King George the who? The second in the time frame, right? Where we get the name Georgia from, right? Archbishop of Canterbury William Wake. This is all colonial time frame of the Board of Trustees for the province of Georgia. I want y'all to see it now. It's there. It's right there. It's that Creole soul I'm giving y'all right here. You know what I'm talking about? This is right there. See, I'm talking about, he said it, but I'm gonna show what because we over here at the party, we've been on this right here. So we know some things that's happening in the period of American history. And that's why
let's slow it down for him real quick, boy, because you cook. Hey, listen, you bringing it together very well. So check this out. So let's talk about the time frame. So when they hear us talk about the Black Europeans, they hear us talk about how does the formation happen, especially in the southern areas, right? So a confederacy, they use them in Europe, specifically over there with them boys in Scotland. You know what I'm saying? Ireland. These are the same places that we are saying that we got the proof. We're talking about this, of them coming to America with these Sephardic Jewish surnames. They just said that these tribes was the resurgence of the Mississippi mound builders, right? Through these confederacies that they in contact and talking to Great Britain well before while so-called slavery is going on.
That's what they say,
okay?
Right? Yeah.
And this type of back and forth is happening where they already got surnames associated with them in them areas. So when they tell us, it came from their slave master, how? When the Indian tribes they saying had surnames.
Yeah, we're gonna show that they had surnames and the Indian names. They had both.
Just like they just show how Mary Musgrove, right?
Right, Mary
she
Musgrove,
got Musgrove. That ain't no Indian name.
That's not it.
That's her Indian name right here. We can't even pronounce the shit.
Look, come on now. I'm too far off to be acting like I speak all that Muskogee language like that.
We just got to keep it real. But this is showing you back then. This was happening in the early 1700s, bro. And you know it still was in the 1800s. Come on.
Right. This is before the United States of America even existed. Right.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, like, we got to keep it all the way real here.
I'm about to show you something for Alabama too. Watch this. I'm going to show y'all something in a minute.
All right, come on. Go ahead and walk.
Go down on this. This right here is important business.
Nah, this heat.
So bring it
Let me put this in the chat for him real quick. Hold on one second.
But ain't nobody going to fall off of what we talking about here.
Just in case. Y'all go back and go over all these names, all these dates and everything. All right, we walking.
All right, now we're going to come down right here, right? He mentioned the Coweta, right?
Yeah.
Coweta right there at the top. And the dark right there is talking about what's going on and everything, right? But James Oglethorpe, you know what I'm saying? He's advising trustee, trustee friends. Shout out to Diana and them. And the party will be doing. See, trustees, they were dealing with trustee stuff.
There's always like that.
Dealing with these treaties and stuff. The trustees, the one dealing with it, with the getting treaty with the Indian tribes. Not like he just some uncivilized shit going on. You heard me? No, these people civilized now. And it said these people were very civilized. Highly civilized, okay. However, come down, Mo. I want to get to the meat of this.
Hold on. Let me read this part for him, bro. It say these transcripts were accompanied by a cover letter from Thomas Christie to Archbishop Wake, plus a letter written by supervising trustee James Oglethorpe, like he said, to the king. Oglethorpe stated that because they had a writing system and a knowledge of their history and advanced mathematics, the Creek Indians were unlike any tribe previously encountered by the British in North America. It was obvious they were the descendants of an ancient civilization. Oglethorpe went on to state that the Creeks were equal to or superior to Englishmen in intelligence. I'm just saying. All right, Matt, where we going with it?
I summed it up. You read it for him. See, I summed it up.
Yeah, they need to hear that part. That ain't no, they making it clear. Okay, here's why they need to hear it. This is what give them the urgency in the way they needed to approach this land. It couldn't just be straight up, I'm gonna come over there and take it by force. How?
Not possible.
These ain't no dummies. And then they got the advantage of this being their homeland. So this is where they getting their strategy together on how they gonna be able to overtake America.
That part.
All right,
keep going down though. See, because we got to get to the meat of this one. Go, keep going down.
All right.
This whole joint good. Keep going. They can see that's the writing system they're talking about, found in Georgia and everything, coming from out of South America and all that too. Keep going. You got this because they can read all. And I want to get there. We go right there.
Okay.
Right there. That's what I want y'all to. Now y'all look at it now. Like homeboy said, screenshot.
Screenshot.
We gave you the source.
Got the source in there.
Go read the bad boy. Screenshot. You hear me? Now you see they got something in red on this map, on this website. And I got another map too. I went and looked this map up. You hear me? You know what I mean? Now, funny enough, Alabama. You see Alabama?
Yep.
Do anybody see where Alabama? Point to it, Monte, with the thing. Where does it say Alabama at?
Hold on.
It's to your left. Look, Appalachia. Remember just reading?
Yeah, I see Apalachicola. Yeah.
Underneath.
Right here.
Alabama.
Yeah.
That's the original spelling of it. That's the original group of people. Then Alabama. You see it?
Hey, and it's crazy because Alabama, I got some ancestry coming out of Alabama into Louisiana, and it's so hard to track in them states for a certain. It's no coincidence that the Southeast is the hardest when you get to a certain year, really past like 1830s type shit to, you know what I'm saying? You get a lot of roadblocks there.
But you see it though, say Alabama. You heard me?
Yep.
Right there, it's right there. That's where that formula of Alabama come out of. Ain't nobody put that on, and white people ain't put. You know what I'm saying? They taking names into what? Anglicizing it, right?
Yeah. Which was already a practice that they was doing even within themselves, within the tribe, because they already mixed with European at this time.
That part. Now you see, go back now to where it's red. You see the red underlining?
Yeah, right here. Bamar.
Yeah. You see that? That's Brim.
Yeah.
On the map. When he's on Emperor Brim, that's the surname. Yeah. That's the surname that they're going to be talking about. I want y'all to just focus. They got it on the map now. See what I'm saying? All right, now we're going to slide down now. Now y'all seen that. We can slide down. So here we go. Unraveling the etymology. And see, up last 20 minutes of the show, we're going to give you the Creole soul part. You know what I mean? But I had to give you this right here tonight because I thought I seen that this is a part of this whole development of American history and mixtures and things like that. So Muskogee, again, is a relatively new term that first appeared, and it says in the 1740s as far as a group of people being tied to it. Now, it says during the reign of the High King Malachi. All right, it says Malachi. Bemarin, you see that last name? Bemarin. It says Bemarin was a name of an Appalachian province in central Georgia as early as 1653, but it's also a Sephardic family name. British officials shortened the word to Brim.
To Brim. Ooh, yeah. Let me see.
All right. Y'all thought I was playing, huh? Y'all thought I was bored. Listen here.
We're gonna have to look into that. See what we can find. Yeah.
That surname is a real surname. You hear me?
Yeah.
That's a real surname. Now, you know, hey, people can get mad about it. It's just the truth. Hey, it is what it is. Now, look. Now we're gonna scroll up more. See, because see, Bemarin, he said black Sephardic Jew though. He got that Sephardic. Now, they say in the story. Now, go ahead. Watch this. That map right there is what I'm gonna throw in the chat too for y'all. All right. So now we're gonna get to the word though, Muskogee. Right. This is what this. And again, their debate. This is debatable. They say in case. So don't put this to say that hey, everything. You know, we got to do your research. You got to double up. You know what I mean? I'm just. Based off the conversation, I thought this was a good, what he said, and with this source I'm sitting on, dealing with Muskogee, and we've been, going through it for a while now. However the case, it's the suffix G, or with the K, or with the YI, was easily to translate. It is a pre-Indo-European word from northwestern and northern Europe, which means people or tribe. It can be seen in many place names in that region, including the actual name of Norway or Norge, which means northern people. This suffix is also used in several modern languages such as Irish Gaelic, Scottish Gaelic, Galician, Austrian, Maori, Iroquois, Algonquin, Cherokee, Shawnee, and Muskogee Creek, but not the other Creek languages. Slide on up. Now look, it says, I knew there was a name used in the 1500s and 1600s only for the tribe that spoke Muskogee Creek. It was the Kofek, and it's Kofeche, which means mixed people. All right, now. A Muskogean town in South Carolina, visited by Hernando de Soto, was a derivative of that word. The etymology of Muskogee was not obvious, but because Masco is not a Muskogee Creek dictionary. Yep, it is not there, y'all. Like Esther and Lucy are in the dictionary, but this word is not. I looked it up. Trust me, I ain't lying. It says, then I speculated if the royal family of the Creek Confederacy had a Jewish Sephardic family name. Perhaps they still knew the Ladino, which would be kind of like a Creole language. You know what I'm talking about? Spoken by Iberian Jews. Indeed, there was in the Ladino dictionary. And it's there, y'all. Yep, it is there. Masco was the Ladino word for mixed and was particularly applied when someone's parents were from different religions, ethnic groups, or races. This Bemarin coined a new word for a tribe created from remnants of many tribes, which only Sephardic Jews would understand. Muskogee. Now you know.
Now you know.
Very interesting. I know they're gonna debate about this. What do you say? They're gonna have to do some scholarship and come debate about that right there, huh? Come holler at the party. Think about that right there, though. You know what I'm talking about? We can slide though. Make them go to the next joint. I want to give them that at least. They got the source in there. Very, very interesting. So this is the map though that they had showed on the other joint, right? And that whole region right there, that's in that website we just looked at. This is the map that they were showing right here. So when you zoom in on it, right? I'm being very transparent now about the situation. Now don't be mad about what I'm trying to show you. You notice what it's showing though? Look, very important. I'm looking for it, right? Alabama there. You see that there, right?
Yeah.
No, but I didn't see Bemarin. Oh, there it is. It is right there. Oops, I'm tripping. It's right there. Bemarin on the map. You see it? Go to the right. Go to the right. Go to the right.
Yeah, I see it.
Bemarin.
Yep.
It's actually on the map now. You feel me?
Yep.
Now look, you notice this too? All that yellow area, what is it called? What did it say there? Florida. I don't know if y'all noticed.
This West Florida.
Look how across that all that yellow part on that map is Florida.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep.
Florida, bro. All that Florida. Before,
Yeah, because this is the Gulf of Mexico right here.
Right.
Yeah, so this going in Louisiana.
Right, Louisiana. All that right there, all that was considered by the
Yeah, Les by Gullah. Okay, yeah, here go cattle. Yep. Then you got Mississippi right here. Des Natchez.
You see it though, right?
Hold on, we got some people in the chat, guys. So they say, bro, say this type of scholarship helps destroy the false narrative we've had forced upon us. Scholarship structure and solidarity will get us where we need to be. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Shout out to Lil Fella.
Yeah, peace, Lil Fella. What up? What up? What up? Peace to everybody that's with us right now. You know what I mean?
Sorry for being late. Peace to the party. Peace to the party. You ain't never late. Just catch it on the replay, but appreciate you catching us live too. It does help. You feel me? But yeah. Ooh, they spelled Nagadocious. They spelled it way different. Hold on, let me see that. Noedocious. But I know that's what they gotta mean because that's where that's at. Central Louisiana.
Yeah, you see they got the names on this map though, right?
Yep.
That Bemarin is there. You see that though, right? That's a whole other map now. See,
yep.
I pulled up the actual map that was on the other joint. That's why I want y'all to see. I ain't capping. Ain't no capping my rap. You hear me? No, Maranatha. We gonna do scholarship. I'm gonna look it up. I ain't gonna say something to you and be like, wait a minute, is he capping? Let me go look this. It's there. Oh yeah, it's there. Wait a minute. How he get that surname? How that surname get put on this map? And how?
Yep.
What is going on in colonial time frame prior to the United States of America being formed? You heard me? This is why we lost the soul. Get that soul glow back. You heard me?
I put I put it in the chat too. But yeah, they actually asked, was it going into Texas? Yes.
Look, all the way. Look, all that. Look right there. Look. It's all there. Look where
East Texas is definitely there. Because cattle right here. So this so you can tell right here, this basically where Louisiana going to Texas right here.
All that one time was considered Florida before different colonial people came in and started breaking up areas, splitting up into what we call Spanish territory. Okay, this was French territory. Okay, this was the 13th colony we call the British territories. Now, at that point now, Carolina starts to be formed. Then after that, Georgia becomes formed. Obviously, Alabama gets allocated. We got Louisiana. I don't want to move too fast. Let me slow down. Look, either way.
Yeah. I'm paying out real quick so they can see how much.
We got no time frame. Trying to make about somewhat on time tonight.
Yeah. All
right. So we're going to keep sliding, though. Y'all got that? He going to throw that to you. Monte going to give that to you.
Yeah, it's already in the chat.
That money. All right. We can slide on then. We're going to keep sliding. Now, see, I had to see that Alabama. See, I try to be on, like, you know what I'm talking about. I keep it real in the fishing rods. See, right here, I thought about the Boule. Hey, you slide up a little bit. Just let them see.
Damn, hold on. Let me take this off real quick.
This genealogy. See, it say genealogy, Alabama genealogy trails for everybody. See, it's that Creole soul I'm trying to give you. A little bit of genealogy, a little bit of history, a little bit of maps. You know what I'm talking about? A little bit of font. You know what I'm talking about?
I think that's probably as big as I can get without it messing up the what's called.
So in the etymology and everything we talking about, right? They did a state, since they were talking about censuses and all that, genealogy had to be counting somehow or another. That's what they're saying, correlly from the State Department archives. Is not from anything, no. This is primary from their situation, right? This is 1844, Thomas L. McKinney, late of the Indian Department of Washington, and James Hall, Esquire of Cincinnati, student of Indian character and life, published 3 volumes entitled History of the Indian Tribes of North America. That's right. That's right. Y'all want to go look into all these groups of people, they're going to be talked about in this area called Alabama today, Alabama, and all the different groups that will fall underneath those names you will see on that map. And you know, hey, you know what I mean? It might be interesting for you. I want to go down a little bit and slide up, just show a couple names, and then we're going to keep it moving because of time. You can have this one. We're going to throw this to y'all too for all the people into genealogy.
Yep, it's already in there.
All right, for sure. In the timeline, see, this is all during colonial time frames that I want to show you what they're talking about. 13 colonies, funny enough. In this paragraph right here, Savannah, we all know it's Georgia, right, is going to say a part of these statements and evidence of Captain Ellick association with white people is the letter A, the first letter Alec, which he adopted as his mark in signing his name. That Captain Alec had always been true friend to the English, of the English, is borne by all the recorded facts extent of history. He showed his loyalty by his actions. The first notice of him is in 1754, where all things pointed to rupture between England and France and between England and Spain. On November 11th, accompanied by a few followers, he called on Governor John Reynolds in council in Savannah and informed him that the French had persuaded some of the upper Creeks to come to Mobile and receive presents. And the Spaniards had done likewise in persuading some of the lower Creeks to come to Pensacola for the same purpose. That had not yet learned the object of the French and Spaniards in these matters. But if he succeeded in doing so, he would inform the governor, Captain Ellick, agreed with the reports that he had already come to the ears of the governor. That's right. That the French and the Spaniards were very busy endeavoring to win the Creeks over to their respective interests. Some presents were the next day presented by Captain Alec. You know what they gave him, right, y'all? They gave him alcohol.
I got them boys full of that drink.
But it was slithered. You know what I'm talking about? White liver. You know what I'm talking about? Ooh.
Bro say so all the Confederate states was a confederacy long before they said yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
This over 100 years before the so-called Civil War.
You don't get no Confederacy in the South without the Confederacies.
Yeah, that's where they got it from.
Right.
And that's who was actually fighting them. That's why this whole white versus black for the fate of slavery, that's a lie, bro. They not even be, how is that possible for that to be talked
These
about
Confederacies
right now?
on this map, them names are tribal groups of people in these regions throughout that whole area that they colonized, as they say, colonized through treaties and people taking on colonial anglicized names and stuff like that.
This is how we can make it super simple though, man. The talk of the time right now is with the Indians and then the king. They ain't talking about why they ain't talking to the plantation owners.
Right.
When they have more pull at this time than them.
Well, they're the ones controlling the land at the same time. So they're the ones that went from what? Doing the Indian thing to taking on the English ways or the Spanish ways or the French ways and doing what now? Plantation system work. Because that was the system that was brought here by who? Them. Going from
the
Europeans to now having an individual clan area that you're doing what? Plantation work off of who you warring with other groups of people, indigenous people, by the way. And also that's why the French and the Spanish and the British had to do with Emperor Brim, by the way, Bemarin, in a certain type of way. You heard me? With his mixture and their influence on trade and everything at the time. You know what I'm talking about? But either way, this is a good one to correlate to Alabama and got a lot of different Indian names. You can go look up chiefs. You know what I'm talking about? We can slide on though, man. Let's slide on because we got timing wise. So like I said, we'll go a little over. I'm gonna give y'all all of this tonight. That Creole soul got in my system. You know what I'm talking about? Like that rum. They say Indians be, you know, you got that engine in your blood. Drinking that liquor.
She say thank you for the truth and leading our people to the light. Appreciate you for tapping in.
That part. So go to the next joint.
All right.
So, you know, Creole, got to put it out there. Creole, it first starts with the Portuguese colonizing West Africa and then obviously coming to what we call the New World, the Americas, Brazil, and the islands. Colonially speaking, you know what I'm saying? So I had to highlight them, you know what I'm saying, to give that understanding of what's going on. Because see, Bemarin Brim, anglicized, and that's why when he said Emperor Brim, wasn't like the Creek Confederacy was set up as if they didn't use the word emperor. You know what I'm saying? So that's the 13th colony, meaning the British are calling him an emperor because they're trying to persuade him to be working with them instead of working with the French or the Spanish. In the politics of colonial time frames, what's going on, right? But still, that's a little more detail for the nice conversation. But still, this article takes issue with the new widely held among Creolists that a large number of slaves brought to the New World arrived with the knowledge of pidgin, Creole. Portuguese acquired either in Africa or the shipboard, and that this language thereby exerted a major influence on the structure and in some cases, even the vocabulary of the various Creole languages which developed in the Americas. Alternative explanations are offered for the Portuguese elements in the Pimento and Salamanca and other New World Creoles. Particularly importance is attached to the exodus of Dutch and Jews, accompanied by slaves and other followers from Brazil when the country was recaptured by the Portugal from Holland. You can slide down, Monte. Then it says, since the earliest comparative study of Creole languages, let's see Van name, that's what it say, 1869 to 1870, their numerous and detailed structural resemblance have attracted the attention of many investigators. Various explanations of this phenomenon have been offered, such as equivalent processes of formation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna slide down those right there. We're gonna always give you the source, because it's how it be. And with this, the Portuguese, it says West African Pidgin Portuguese slavers jargon. So again, there's this word Creole is tied from a colonial understanding of something, and it obviously tied to different groups of people now in languages, tied to the word pidgin, that now is developing a new language because of these mixtures of people who now are in the system and using this term in trade, as they would say, slavery, dealing with these colonial powers. And obviously in this one right here, where it comes about down here in the middle of this paragraph, after it says Thompson's hypothesis, it says lingua franca, you know what I mean? And when you see that right there, you can see that they're talking about a language that's being developed. All right, so I had to give a shout out to the Portuguese dealing with the Creole, because they're the first colonial group to go from out of the European areas into West Africa, or even come into what we call the New World. Now, how do people debate about how many people they brought, who they didn't bring, whatever the case might be, but they came in contact with indigenous people and West African people, and Creole is tied to that right there in history. So now we're gonna keep sliding. You know what I'm talking about?
What say message?
Message? Got to get the origin of it. You know what I mean? Caribbean, Creole. So that's why in the Creole soul of it, we got a lot of people that, even today that come from the Caribbean, when we have in contact with them, having very similar to them is that we all went through colonial New World, as they would say, the experiences in our ancestry, and the ethnogenesis developed in what we call the Creole situation. Now, obviously, the 13 colonies, Gullah, you heard me, and the hidden Creole history, why we don't really hear people talk about Creole within the 13 colonies. See what I'm saying? Yeah, Pig Latin would be considered kind of like a pidgin language, exactly. The core claim, the connections is real, but hidden is best understood as a legal terminological obscuring rather than a single covert act. So obviously, I made this PowerPoint for y'all real quick. We get out of here tonight. You slide down, because I want to shout out to the Gullah. You heard me, got to show that it's a Creole.
Hold on real quick.
What happened?
So let's read this question. But it says, so the flag for the copper-colored American is the Confederate Republic. Now I see why it's not recognized, because we don't see it. I think I get where you're going. I wouldn't say it's the flag per se, but I would say that the flag was related more to people that look like us versus some white people, for sure. Because the Confederacy, what would be the proof of white people having a Confederacy in the South during the same time frame?
We might have to do a build on that, matter of fact.
We got to build on that, bro, because this was in the 1700s. They calling themselves confederacies. Yeah,
we've heard a lot over the years dealing with the Confederate flag and black or white or who the flag belonged to. And I would say, you know what I'm saying? I would say give it a time. We have to come back and do a build on that one right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You say you wanted the next page of this one? Next slide?
Yeah, slide. Yeah, read this real quick. I gotta give this up. Let somebody in. All right, hold on.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So the whole structural connection with the Gullah, the Creole. So linguistically, the point is Gullah is an English lexifier of Creole. All right. So basically, it developed from sustained contact from English, West and Central Africa, and then the Sea Islands in the Low Country. So Creole is the broad type. Gullah is a specific regional form. So the implication is all Gullah is Creole in linguistic formation. Not all Creole formations are Gullah, and Gullah survived as a name regional identity. So just kind of showing you that you already hear about different people, so that you got to imagine the French, Spanish, and all the different variations of Europeans would have had their own way they was identifying people, places, and things here. So that shit get mixed up when them remnants of those people stay there. You feel me?
Right. You know, what's crazy, what people might not know is, and we got to make sure everybody understand, this word Creole, you see how it says broad, but the word Creole really means colonial, born in a colony. All right? You understand that, y'all? Creole means to be born in a colonial situation. You know what I'm saying? That's what it means in origin. And that's why you could be in Louisiana Creole, French is tied to your ancestry because of the jurisdiction of what colony had was in your area and what influenced certain things.
Just like a mulatto.
Right. In Spain, Spanish had what we call the Florida, because they gave the name Florida. We show you the map, right? Before other European groups came in. So your influence can be all mixed up because of the colonial Creole ancestry tied to our American ethnogenesis, my nigga. Negro. That's the Lusty. You know what I'm talking about? So that's why it's Gullah Estelusti Amakara, y'all, on my side, and that's GMC, by the way, the Autonomous Party, and all of the mixtures that we may have, we accept them because it's not going to change. As Ali Cummins said last week, identity, ideology, banging is not going to get us to becoming autonomous. But understanding what's in our family trees and how we've been reclassified and certain things like that will allow us to get past some of the negative delineations that we have amongst each other culturally to be able to move autonomously in the aim of our prosperity. You heard me? I like how I did that right there. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Kay say the term Criollos was used for the population of the Spanish people born within the western portion of the country when it was under Spanish rule. This is yet another display of colonial mixing.
Colonial mixing. So your ancestry is tied to the New World, what they call American history, America, become America, before United States of America, and then the colonial time frame, especially in the 13 colonies, right?
Yep.
You could easily say it's an ethnogenesis term that comes out of a Creole mixture of what was happening between the indigenous, European, and we could say West African people that were in their region. You know what I mean? And that's been going for a lot of different situations, by the way.
Can we put something to bed then? So since we saying this right now, when we was just talking about people of certain ideologies want to basically focus on one specific portion, this would kill all of that. You got a lot of Indians saying that they never ever, they tribes was so real, they never mixed with no European. Boy, how?
That's
when in the 1700s, they telling you what it is already.
Right.
They telling you in the 1700s.
They were mixing. People were mixing. Ethnogenesis, that's what happens. What y'all doing right now. And I know most y'all ain't probably walk around, everybody you date and ask them what their family tree is, so stop capping. You know what I mean?
And they wouldn't know if they did ask them.
Shoot. People ain't even asking about credit scores and how much money you got in your account.
Yeah.
I will woman.
So they damn sure ain't asking about their genealogy. Like, we got to cut that out.
That might be, y'all might need to start checking each other a little bit better. You know what I'm talking about? Finding out what you or your legacy is tied to, who you mixing with in your ethnogenesis in current day time. And, you know, because, you know, people, Creole, it's now it's hard to our American culture. See what I'm saying? And that's our culture. Creole, it's the soul of it. Everything that came out of that, United States capitalized it. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that bottlenecked all those colonial situations that was taking place in North America. And now had to do with what? A census and reclassify those groups of people in those regions to be now underneath the bottleneck term of free people of color. Free people of color, enslaved people, or unless you was tied to the treaties going into this time frame, where we broke down Manifest Destiny, you would see how some tribes, as we see now today federally, were recognized on their portion of areas, but all the other people got reclassified within the colonial understanding of what was already going on prior to. You heard me? They didn't know what to do. And we were the majority, as Benjamin Franklin would say, because he understood what he was looking at when he said it, when he was saying it, with all the colonial people, immigration, people coming in and everything like that, how could he really know who's who and not understanding of the Creole soul that was taking place?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, that's what I got for you. I mean, any more in there? I want them to see it because this is what it really. We got more slides. Look, see, here we go. All these Iberian, French empires, terms such as Creole and Creole would mark colonial born status and later broadened into people, language, and culture. British America, dominant official categories emphasize race and legal status, which means they didn't really use the word Creole in the 13 colonies. See, they used the terms Negro, slave, mulatto, muskie, free, colored, or related labels. Consequence, Creole-type social reality could exist without being named Creole because official language flattened local birth and culture into legal racial buckets. You heard me? So we got to bring
this need to
back.
sit for a second right here, bro. Right here is telling you. So this is why the terms kept changing. It was just different ways to layer the what they knew was the mixture of nationalities that they wanted to wipe out, bro. They ain't want no existence of no black Europeans and no black. I'm using this for talking about skin, talking about us. They didn't want that to be a part of history, bro. That's why they telling you what all them terms meant. It still relate back to some mixture that was created here in America that had all the culture, all the land. We had this shit, bro.
It got to be understood. You heard me? I ain't really nothing else for me to really say about it anymore. See, because I gave him that soul today. You gave me. I told you I was coming with my sermon today, y'all. I told y'all I had a week off too. Right after my earth storm. You know I was coming with the fire. You know what I'm talking about? You know I was coming with the fire, with the soul. So there it is. Shout out my daughter. Her middle name's Soul, by the way. Funny enough. Creole. Actually a Creole. But it's a over time, British colonial law increasingly prioritized race and bondage status over birthplace. And then language and local ethnogenesis. We got to get more educated about our ethnogenesis in order for us to ethno-aggregate that Dr. Claude Anderson speaks on. You know what I mean? That process did not erase the formation itself. It reclassified it. We got some shit for y'all with this now. I'm telling y'all, we're gonna break down this all the way down to the to the micro. All right. So obviously anything, you know, like I said, the heat there.
Hey.
Soul there. You know what I mean? I can put the soul in the bowl.
I would say at this point, we definitely shout out to our trusty friend, shout out to Diana. What we got going on now, estate planning, bro. See, those of y'all who still with us now, got this QR code here. Information also gonna be in the description. You need to understand your Creole connection, bro. Be proud of all sides of your history, your genealogy, and do the work to go get as far as you can, and then do the research on this right here. Just in the fact of showing the connection of the Europeans with the Indians and formation of these confederacies, that should answer a lot of questions for you right then and there. And if it show about the surnames, it show how they knew they was moving out the ancient civilization, and then they knew from the Europeans that what type of system was coming upon them. So they was already getting ready, man. That's why they started with the surname. That's why they started writing. Like you just see, they had everything. They wanted to get the ups on what was going on over here, and they damn sure did. They knew they had to take their opponent seriously. So now we done become a dumbed down version of what our people was doing way back then. But we thinking we so advanced because we got all this technology, but we really operating it like Buddy said in that video. Man, the scholarship and the research is on a zero with us right now, bro. It's really sad.
We floating all over the place. We're not really focused on what happened in American history. When we talk about genealogy, we really don't talk about the heritage and all that, because it's escapism in some cases. And I think that's why it makes the scholarship become weak, because you've heard people tell us that they found something on their tree, and then they had told us that they didn't even look into it because they didn't like what they saw. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's a lot of people with some traumatic things too that they might just not want to get caught up in. But that's your personal business. I ain't here to bash nobody and what they find and what their families go through. We know we all got families going through stuff out here. Ain't nobody above that. So I just try to be real about that. And that's why we got to be definitely on the same page today, autonomously, about what's best for us. You hear me? And understand how we self-identify within our culture of American culture, and the Gullah, the Maroon, and the Creole. Those are things, especially if you talk to the 13 colonies, areas of Georgia, the Carolinas, you know what I'm saying? Actually, I would say the whole Southeast, to tell you all the truth.
Yeah.
But they gonna centralize it to a certain area of the Carolinas down into Florida, right? Off the Sea Islands and stuff. But man, the plantation migration situation and the colonial system, people were moving and migrating, especially with the different Creek Confederacy systems and all the different other systems too. It was too much stuff going on for people to make it seem like it was just some flat, like how they make it out. And that's what our people like to do. They point out this harmship of slavery and can't tell you nothing about history of it. It's like, you got to be aware of those kind of people. You know what I mean? Because they baiting you. I don't want to call it race baiting, but it's a bait that I ain't gonna put on my fishing rod. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You hear me? So
yeah, because I mean, what it just boiled down to is that we showing here all our people was in these areas and dominated the land and was the ones doing the commerce on these plantations. Our people was the one got villainized and wiped out with the slavery narrative. Like, we ain't looking at it in the right framework, bro. You feel me? If our people was the one with the land making the money, they try to wipe their whole situation out by calling it this so-called brutal form of slavery, where they ain't never able to prove none of this shit. But this is what wiped away our whole lineage and making us like we the slaves on our own goddamn land.
Hey,
it's really cold-blooded.
Hey, when you look at the Creek, how we were just talking about the Creek Confederacy, right? Esther Lusty in that system, right? They had a system, not necessarily free willy. Oh, no, it's a system, and it was, if you was a war captive, you're gonna be treated like a war captive into a better off situation. Like, you know what I mean? But if you came in and you was in a accomodable position and you're doing your thing, you on our land, so we want a piece of what you're doing over there. You heard me? Yeah, that trade you doing, we want a piece of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but guess what though? This is our rules, and guess what? As long as you follow in that system, we come to find out that people learn the language of the people at the time. They were speaking the same language, eating the same foods, and trading the same goddamn goods amongst each other. So at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff today, people do. They isolated themselves because of this black and white racial idea that came about in 1775. You hear me? Well, all the stuff we was reading about predates the race theory in America during the Creole colonial time frame. Because the word Creole is tied being born. Your ancestors were born during the colonial time frame, a lot of them, right? In North America. Okay, then. So hey, till next week Sunday, we gonna tap in. I ain't got nothing else for y'all. I hope y'all got it.
We got Travis next week.
One more time though.
I'm gonna run it back, bro. We got. Oh, he said that Creole connection. Hey, that's what it is, bro. Hey, so for y'all who didn't catch it, man, we go. Oh, hold on, 1 second. It's a Creole connection. So they say, does the party help with genealogists? Okay, so look, so this is a good time to talk about the Patreon. Hey, so we are in the process of revamping everything that we got going on, especially Patreon related. So it's definitely the right time to join the Patreon, because within that we will have a genealogy program that we rolling out. You know what I'm saying? Amongst other things, estate planning. We already got that set up right now with Trusty Friend. And by becoming a member of the Patreon, you get a very nice discount on your estate planning services with Trusty Friend, partnered by, with the Autonomous Party. So definitely, if reach out to us, go join the Patreon on any level right now, but soon the levels gonna change, right, Matt? We're gonna go ahead and change the levels, and then it's gonna be reflective of the way we move in the future. But it's gonna be very beneficial and cost effective, because at the end of the day, we got to do this, and we growing independent media out of our own pocket. We don't never ask for nothing, but we need the support, because this is what we do it for. We ain't doing this for ourselves. Because if that's the case, we wouldn't need to be on YouTube. we just call each other on the phone. You feel me? But we here because it's about the party. You know what I'm saying, Mac? This is what it's set up for.
It's about the harsh reality is live life autonomously. You heard me? That's what it's about. And that's the campaign. You heard me? So that's why it's the party. It takes a party to do that for the betterment of our communities, our collective, our nationhood, and how we need to move. And we have to do that from a ministry level down to the political, to the economic, to the cultural, and definitely understand how to move in trust for this autonomous thing to take place amongst ourselves in the party collectively, autonomously. So until next week, Sunday, I hope y'all have a good week. And, you know what I mean? It's the first start of the week. It's the first day of the week. So tap in with us and we'll see y'all.
You go, man. Peace.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
They cut the story into pieces. Told us pick one. They gave me a color, said live inside this. Found my name down, made it fit in their system. Whole bloodline got trimmed to a sentence. Now I'm looking in the mirror like something been missing. Got rivers in me, they never mapped out. Got names in my bones, they never let out. Every time I felt different, I was dead right. They just buried the truth under headlines. Split me up, then they labeled it clarity. Now we fighting over fragments of identity. If I'm everything, why they narrow me? I'm putting all my pieces back deliberately. Don't dilute me, don't reduce me. I'm a blend they couldn't blueprint. Every layer got a voice. Let it speak. It's that Creole soul. Unfold, don't fold. Every root I hold, turn me hold. It's that Creole soul. Not one code, I've been told. Now I know. Yeah. Feel that? That ain't confusion. That's memory. We've been walking around edited versions. Whole identity stuck behind curtains. Took the depth and traded it for surface. Now we searching for worth and what they purchased. But I feel it when the rhythm hit different. Like my body recognized what's been hidden. Certain sounds make my spirit sit up like you've been here before. I can't forget it. They simplified us just to manage the narrative. Turned inheritance into comparison. But the truth don't break under pressure. It just wait for the right ones to carry it. Don't dilute me, don't reduce me. Yeah, I'm a blend that couldn't blueprint. Every layer got a voice. Let it speak. It's that Creole soul. Unfold, don't fold. Every root I hold, turn me hold. It's that Creole soul. Not one code, I've been told. Now I know. I don't gotta choose a side. I don't gotta cut my ties. Every line inside me mine. I'm the sum, not the fraction. I'm the truth past the caption. All my blood in alignment. Say it plain. We not one note, we harmony. Now I move like I carry an archive. Every step got a past that survive. I ain't searching for self in they boxes. I rebuilt it from what they tried to hide. So when I speak, it's layered intention. Not just pain, it's full dimension. We don't need their permission. We remember, that's the mission. Don't dilute me, don't reduce me. Don't dilute me. I'm a blend they couldn't blueprint. Every layer got a voice. Let it speak. It's that Creole soul. Unfold, don't fold. Every root I hold, turn me hold. It's that Creole soul. Not one code, I've been told. Now I know. They told us pick one. We picked all of it. That's power.
This could take quite a bit of time.
autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke but a pale racist? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments, tribe to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Esther Lusty. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black forces the same color the European. Pardon my autonomy, I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine.
100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land.
Familiar streets, still feel far from home.
Born where the ground know my name, still asking permission to stand. They sold the future in papers, now we pay just to live on the land. No change, just rules we never chose. Old lies dressed up as law. If you don't know what's been taken, you won't miss it at all. Exile in our own land, standing where we belong. Yeah. They convinced us this ain't our country. Now we've been here moving wrong. Exiled in our own land, roots deep, still feel alone. Taught us how to survive here. Never taught this was home. Hell came tied with a leash. Every favor had a fee. They call it progress, call it order. I call it quiet captivity. If the game was set before us before we learned the rules, you don't blame the player for losing when the table's rigged to choose. No border still confined. They erased us with education, left us searching our own mind. This ain't exile by distance, it's exile by design. They made us forget. Once you see it clearly, you don't ask for a seat, you said same ground, new rules, same blood, new name. Still here, still waiting for what was never meant to change. Still here, still waiting, same blood, still waiting for what was never. Exile Am I feeling late? Oh, open sky, okay, shine the mother with your best. Open way, baby. Oh, the mother with your best.